Hey guys, welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andrew Seegers, and we're again joined by Derek Bittner to discuss the announcement that Lil Mac from Punch-Out is joining the roster for Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. So let's get right into it. Alright Derek, so this was... I'm going to say it was a surprise, because I don't think we saw it coming at all. I mean, we predicted that Lil Mac would be a character in Smash Bros. Before, but I don't think we saw him coming this week, and he looks pretty awesome. So let's start off by getting your top level impressions of this character.
Well, as you were saying, like nobody really expected him to be announced today, just because today's the Japanese release of Donkey Kong Country Returns,
right?
Tropical Freeze, I should say. So Little Mac came as a bit of a surprise, but a good surprise. He looks really awesome. I've been hoping for him. I thought he was just like, out of all the characters that hasn't been announced yet for Smash as potential new characters, Punch-Out is one of the bigger franchises Nintendo has, and it always surprised me that he was never featured in it. So the fact that he finally graduated from assist trophy to full-on character, I'm all for.
Yeah, and it looks like, they've updated him accordingly, basing him on the way he was portrayed in Punch-Out Wii, as opposed to the assist trophy in Brawl. Yeah, so so we had guessed that he was going to be in the game before, because they had the Punch-Out, they had the boxing arena, which looked just like an arena from Punch-Out. And it is really cool to see that they actually were just hinting at him the entire time.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because they actually changed up. Like if you look in the trailer, they changed up the arena a bit. Around the ring where it was saying Smash Brothers, it now says Punch Out. The ring itself shows the logos for all the Punch Out stuff.
Right.
So it was hidden. They just changed all this stuff for us, and now it's like, yeah, we're ready to say that. Little Mac is in the game.
Oh, that Sakurai. Yeah, so this is really cool, and it looks like he looks like it has a pretty unusual play style, or maybe not unusual, but he definitely doesn't look like anything we've quite seen before. And right away, I noticed that he seems to be a very fast character, actually. Like in both just in terms of how he moves and how he runs around. Like he seems to be very versatile, and he has. And his entire moveset seems to be based, fittingly around punches. But he seems to have a pretty big variety of moves within that. We see all kinds of punches, whether it's just normal punch attacks or his recovery, which is an uppercut, it looks like. But perhaps the biggest thing is he has a power meter that he can build up. And it looks like based on the trailer, he can actually charge it, similar to how Samus stands in place to charge her power beam attack or whatever. Mm-hmm. It seems similar for Lil Mac too. It's
pretty much exactly the same. It's Sakurai said in his Miiverse post that it's the standard special attack, so don't move any directions, you just push, in the GameCube's case, B, start charging it up. But what makes this one a lot more unique is that it has two things. One, there's actual meter above his percentage screen at the bottom that shows it charging up, giving you a hint to just how much power it'll have. The other thing is that if you're able to reach a full meter, you'll get a KO sign, and that is a literal KO, because if you hit anybody with that attack, that is an instant knockout, and they're going to go flying. And we saw that in the trailer where, he was fighting Bowser and Mega Man,
and he takes out both of them at once.
And they were the more significant thing is that they were both less than 30%. So that is a heck of a move. People are going to need to keep a very close eye on Little Mac players, because he's pretty much equipped with an instant home run bat.
Yeah, so there's a few things about that are interesting. One, I wonder if when you fully charge that meter, is that a guaranteed KO no matter what? Like what I'm wondering is, I mean, of course it flashes KO when it's charged up, but like what if something interferes with that move? Like what if it hit a ceiling? Or, what if another character interrupts, them flying off screen? Like, can that be stopped, or is that just going to kill them no matter what?
I think it'll probably be stopped if it's any, once again, going back to the home run bat, if they hit a ceiling or knock into anything else, they'll just bounce back down and still have just a massive amount of damage.
Right.
So, I think that'll probably be the case here. So, they might even treat his damage amounts for that punch like a home run bat.
Yeah, I mean, that could be. Although I'm almost wondering if they're going further with it in that it is a guaranteed KO, just because of how much attention they're putting on that move. Because we've seen, like, if you ignore the power meter, there's really not anything unique about that move besides how powerful it is. Because as I mentioned before, we've seen Samus with her charge attack, and she can retain that charge and continue charging it later on. The difference here is that he's getting a physical, an actual meter on the screen, which is a huge difference from, we've never seen that before in a Smash Brothers game. With Samus, she would start blinking when it was fully charged.
Yeah, and I think the difference there is that in the case of both Samus and Donkey Kong, who could also power up a punch or some sort of move and use for later, is that Mac will not be able to use that move for later. He has to power it up and unleash it. So if he misses, he's probably really vulnerable. So that's probably why there's a meter there. I think it's giving other players notification that, oh crap, he's charging, and oh crap, he's about to hit KO. I need to either interrupt him or get the heck out of the way.
So you think he has to use it right away? Like he can't?
Yeah, I don't think he can store it. I'm almost positive that is an unfair advantage if he can store that. That is too powerful.
But I feel like that's why I think he has to, because otherwise, what's the point of the meter? You could just see that he's charging. It's like, okay, well, he's going to be KO pretty soon.
But you also got 4 people battling it out, and things get hectic. Yeah. So that's a nice little more indicator, because that is such a powerful move. So it makes sense to me that they'd want to give as much indication as possible, and make players who use that move have to work for it, just like people who have to work for it for Jigglypuff's down special.
Right.
Which was also a really powerful attack, but you had to be really close and you had to get the timing just right. I think this will work something like that.
Yeah, I mean that could be. I'll go through. We'll be more in depth in the analysis. We'll figure this out soon, hopefully. Yeah, it does seem to be. Regardless, it seems like he's going to have the most powerful move in the game. No character before has had a guaranteed KO, especially one with an on-screen indicator, warning everyone, like be careful, guys. This guy's going to destroy you if he gets close. And I think that's really cool because he is a boxer. He's one of the few, maybe the only character, I guess, besides the Wii Fit trainer, who has a career of a sporting career. This is what he does.
Yeah,
it makes sense that he would be really powerful. Based on that, and it looks like he'll go even further with his final smash being Giga Mac, which is kind of. I was kind of surprised to see that here because that's a reference to the multiplayer mode of Punch Out Wii U, Punch Out Wii, which I think almost no one played.
I've seen quite a few people play it
really
online. I've seen people try it out and.
Well, that's it. They try it out and never go back to it. I played it a couple times and it was fun, but there's not much depth there. So it's cool to see them referencing it. But let's get back to Lil Mac himself.
He looks fast. The moveset looks interesting. Another move we failed to mention was he has a counter. Probably a down counter because it shows him doing his classic dodge maneuver, when you're actually playing Punch Out, and then doing an immediate punch back to, for countering any move that he succeeds in. So it's cool that they are very much infusing his character into this moveset, despite the completely different perspective and the fact that he actually gets to move. I mean, how would you ever determine how fast Little Mac is when he's never actually moved from that spot, just moving back and forth?
And we can see him, haul ass in the opening of the trailer, where he just runs into the arena, and he just seems to be a very spry character throughout. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't think there's any character more fitting than Little Mac to have a counter.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking over these pictures that Sakurai provided on the Smash Brothers page, I gotta laugh at the poster of him taking on Donkey Kong.
That's awesome.
That's the thing. That's from Punch Out Wii, and I said that to you after. As you feel, it's everybody's talking about, we're probably gonna get Donkey Kong related character like Diddy Kong returning, or maybe Dixie Kong's a new character. I mean, that's what we thought,
right? Because
of the whole Donkey Kong being released in Japan, and then it just makes complete sense that he fought Donkey Kong in Wii.
It's full circle, man. It all makes sense. Sakurai's working on multiple levels here.
Yeah, Sakurai's oh, you're so smart. That was so clever. Love it.
Now, there is something else interesting about this trailer, is that throughout the trailer, we could hear Doc Lewis talking, conversing with Lil Mac, giving him, yelling out at him to tell him to do certain moves or certain things. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's actually part of the gameplay, or is that just for the trailer?
I'm almost positive that's for the trailer, because I'll be honest, if he was doing that through the entire game, I'd be so annoyed.
He would be like the ultimate troll character, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But no, it just felt so specific. Like, you know, the punch is mightier than the sword when he's punching Link. I'm like,
which is awesome. I love that. Like, if that actually was part of the game and there were actually character specific things you would yell out, that would be amazing.
It would be kind of cool, but I would hope they had the option to turn it off, because I can see just, you play Smash Brothers, you know, as much as the typical player does, you're going to get annoyed at Doc Lewis very quickly.
I could see it working if two things. One, they're not that frequent, like maybe, you know, once every once in a while. And two, there's a large variety of them. You know, like if it's repeating like the same phrase for every character, that will get annoying very fast. But I could see it working and then mix it up. But so you think that's just for the trailer, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just think it's for the trailer. The other thing that's interesting is, like, I think he's going to be a very light character, at least based on his size, because they emphasize that in the trailer itself. I mean, him next to Samus.
Yeah, he looks like a lightweight, and yeah, Samus is like, look, I'm big, I'm way bigger than you.
He can hit hard, but he's probably going to be pretty easy to knock out as far as sending out outwards. His recovery doesn't seem that great, though. It seems like it only had a very vertical recovery.
Right.
So it's interesting that I think they're going to build in a couple deficiencies in here just because he has that one-hit KO move.
Yeah, and again, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I don't know if he was ever a lightweight officially, but that seems to be the way he's been portrayed. Like, he's almost always the smallest character against everyone he takes on a punch out.
Pretty much. I mean, there's a picture here of in the 3DS version where he's standing next to Pikachu and Olimar, and he's barely taller than Olimar.
Yeah, you're right. That's pretty awesome. Wow. So, do you have any final thoughts at all on Lil Mac, Derek? Anything that we need to cover, or any final impressions of him?
Mainly, I think he looks like a really great character. I think it's going to be a very interesting way to play. I mean, he has a lot of different possibilities because of this moveset that we're seeing. The other thing that I'm wondering is that, as I said before, he was an assist trophy in Brawl. So we're going to get somebody else from Punch-Out as his replacement for an assist trophy?
I hope so. Like, I could see like King Hippo or something being there.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. I was like, I want King Hippo.
Yep. That would make so much sense, I feel like.
I think he'd be a lot of fun to have as an assist trophy.
Totally would be. Yeah, no, I think Lil Mac's a great addition. Like, I think it's good to see lesser known franchises. And Punch-Out's pretty well known, I mean, but it hasn't had too many games, and it's good to see characters from those games appearing as playable characters in Smash Brothers. So I love that he's here, and it looks like they're doing a great job with him. So I'm excited to see what all we find, when we break it down more in the analysis.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty more to see.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. I'm gonna have to frame by frame that. So I'm excited to play as him. Alright, well, I think that wraps up our Smash Brothers Lil Mac discussion, so thanks guys for watching. If you like this discussion, please make sure to check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at GameXplain. You can find links to them in the description below. We'll post all kinds of things there. And of course, keep an eye out for our upcoming, Lil Mac analysis and more discussions and analysis coming from the latest Nintendo Direct. There's gonna be a lot, so stay tuned. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.